The lights go out, the room quiets down, the body finally begins to slow, and that is when the mind becomes most alert. There is no danger in the room, no emergency unfolding, no immediate threat. Yet the chest tightens, breathing becomes shallow, thoughts begin to accelerate.
Memories resurface without invitation. Small moments expand into imagined consequences. Future possibilities unfold with an edge of threat. The body wants rest. The nervous system remains prepared. This pattern did not appear randomly. It was learned. Overthinking at night is not a preference. It is the afterimage of a time when awareness was necessary for emotional survival. Attention became armor. Anticipation became protection.
And now the paradox settles in. The same system that once ensured safety no longer knows how to disengage. The nervous system learned to survive in uncertainty. Now it cannot tolerate stillness. So the night becomes a space of suspension, too exhausted to function clearly, too vigilant to surrender to sleep. This is the private loneliness of night overthinking, the experience of being.
This condition has a specific name: hypervigilance. Hypervigilance is not excessive worry. It is a chronic survival state in the nervous system. The brain remains calibrated for danger long after danger has passed. The amygdala, the brain's alarm center, stays overactive. The default mode network, responsible for memory, imagination, and self-reflection, loops continuously. During the day, movement and stimulation suppress this activity. At night, when external input fades, the internal world takes over.
This is why overthinking intensifies in darkness, not because new problems appear, but because unresolved ones become impossible to ignore. For many people, this pattern begins in environments where emotional safety was inconsistent. Care was unpredictable, affection felt conditional, connection could disappear without warning.
The developing nervous system learned that safety had to be monitored. It learned to scan for shifts, to analyze tone, to anticipate emotional danger. This was not a flaw. It was intelligent adaptation under pressure. But adaptive strategies do not expire on their own. They continue even when the original environment is gone. The danger ends. The vigilance remains.
The deepest cost of night overthinking is not fear. It is grief. Grief for inner silence. Grief for effortless rest. Grief for being fully present without tension. There is often a quiet belief beneath the pattern that peace is temporary, that calm invites consequences, that relaxation lowers protection.
So even happiness feels unstable. Even comfort feels borrowed. Even relief carries the expectation of loss. Life is not only experienced, it is constantly evaluated. The mind tracks risk. The body remains prepared. Neuroscience shows that imagined danger activates the same biological stress response as real danger. The heart accelerates. Muscles tighten. Breathing shortens.
The body cannot distinguish between an actual threat and a vividly anticipated one. At the core of night overthinking lies a single organizing fear, that vigilance is the price of safety. Because of this, rest feels irresponsible. Stillness feels unsafe. Silence feels exposing.
The bed becomes a site of mental activity rather than recovery. Darkness becomes stimulating rather than soothing. Thoughts grow louder at exactly the moment the body needs quiet the most. This is why exhaustion does not guarantee sleep. This is why calm feels unfamiliar. This is why peace often produces discomfort before it produces relief.
These patterns are frequently mistaken for personality traits. In reality, they are survival adaptations carried into adulthood. They often appear as overanalyzing tone in messages and conversations, preparing emotionally for abandonment before it happens, struggling to set boundaries without guilt, feeling responsible for the emotional states of others, equating productivity with self-worth, distrusting ease and comfort,
Replaying interactions repeatedly for meaning. Falling asleep only after mental exhaustion overwhelms the system. Each of these behaviors once served a protective role. They helped maintain connection. They minimized surprise. They reduced vulnerability in unstable environments. But in adulthood, they quietly drain energy, complicate relationships, and erode internal peace. Nothing is fundamentally wrong with the person who overthinks at night. The nervous system simply learned its lessons too well. Healing does not begin with forcing the mind to become quiet. It begins with understanding what the mind is protecting against. The body does not respond to logic alone. It responds to safety. Until safety is felt, vigilance remains.
Unlearning begins with noticing the moment alertness activates. Without judgment, without suppression, without argument, awareness interrupts automation. Presence creates choice.
Healing for night overthinking is not about eliminating thought. It is about restoring safety without constant monitoring. The nervous system must learn that safety can exist without effort. This is where inner reparenting begins. Instead of attacking anxiety, the individual learns to meet it with steadiness. Instead of forcing calm, safety is gradually introduced. Over time, the system begins to recognize that alertness is no longer required at all hours.
Healing also involves shadow integration, meeting the parts of the psyche that learned fear as protection. These parts do not need to be removed, they need to be reassured. As this process unfolds, the experience of rest begins to shift. Peace feels less suspicious. Stillness feels less threatening. Silence feels less exposed. Control gradually loosens. Presence gradually strengthens. Safety is no longer built through constant analysis. It is built through embodiment and trust. The anxious mind was never broken. It was trained. And training can be updated. The part of the mind that overthinks at night is not an enemy. It is a protector that never learned when the danger ended.
With patience and consistency, that message can finally be delivered. And when it is, rest stops being a battle. If the mind feels loud tonight, that does not mean failure. It means an old survival system is still active. And now, slowly, it is learning something new.
If this video helped you, like it, share it with a friend. And if you want to build a powerful mind, don't forget to subscribe.